A highway patrol officer pulled a car over and walked up to the driver's side window. "Any idea why I've got my lights on behind you?" the officer asked, pen in hand. The driver gave a casual smile. "Honestly, officer, I haven't a clue. I was just cruising along, enjoying the scenery." "Well," the officer replied, "you didn't bother stopping at that stop sign back at the intersection." "Oh, I did in a way," the driver argued. "I slowed way down to a crawl. It's basically the same thing as stopping, right?" The officer tilted his head, unimpressed. "The sign is pretty clear. It says stop, not slow down or almost stop." The driver just shrugged. "Come on, man. Stop, slow down. What's the real difference?" The officer didn't say a word. He reached for his nightstick, pulled it out, and started tapping it firmly against the driver's knuckles. "Hey, what are you doing?" the driver yelled, pulling his hand back. The officer kept tapping and said calmly, "Now you tell me, do you want me to stop or just slow down?" A pastor in a small Alabama town stood behind his pulpit, looking absolutely furious. He glared at his congregation and said, "I've been made aware that someone in this church has been spreading a nasty rumor that I'm a secret member of the Ku Klux Klan." A heavy silence fell over the room as he continued, "This is a disgusting lie that no Christian community should tolerate. I am deeply embarrassed, and I won't stand for it. Now, whoever started this, I want you to stand up right now, ask God for forgiveness, and apologize to this entire church family." Nobody moved an inch. The preacher leaned forward, his voice rising. "Do you really have the nerve to sit there and let this falsehood hang in the air? Remember, if you confess, you'll be forgiven. Now, stand up and admit what you've done." Slowly, a stunning, drop-dead, gorgeous blonde in the third row rose to her feet. She was wearing a dress that would make a statue turn its head. With her head bowed and her voice trembling, she spoke up. "Reverend, I think there's been a massive misunderstanding," she whispered. "I never told anyone you were in the Klan." The pastor looked relieved for a split second until she continued. "I just mentioned to a few of my girlfriends that you were a wizard under the sheets." The pastor hit the floor, his wife fainted dead away, and the entire congregation erupted into a roar. A lady with really small boobies buys a finely carved mirror in an antique shop. The shop owner gives her some old nonsense about it being a magic mirror. She brushes off the sales nonsense, buys it for its beauty, and hangs it on her bathroom door. The next morning, she playfully says, "Magic mirror on my door, make my boobie size 44. There's a flash of light, and her boobies grow to Dolly Parton proportions. She runs to tell her husband what happened. They both quickly run up to the bathroom. The husband crosses his fingers, smiles at his wife, and says, "Magic mirror on the door. Make my manhood touch the floor." There's a flash of light, and both of his legs fall off. A child from a poor family wanted a bike for Christmas, so he asked his mother. His mother replied, "Well, we can't afford one, so you'll just have to go ask the baby Jesus." The boy went to his room, got a stack of refill and a pen, and began writing, "Dear baby Jesus, I've been good all year. Can you please give me a bike for Christmas?" Then he looked at it and thought maybe that wasn't entirely true, so he tried again. "Dear baby Jesus, I've been good for the past week. Can you please give me a bike for Christmas?" Then he looked at it again and still wasn't sure if that was true, so he tried yet again. A drunk man walks into a Hell's Angels biker bar, sits down, and orders a drink. Looking around, he notices 3 men sitting at a corner table. He gets up, staggers over, leans in, and looks at the biggest, meanest biker in the face, saying, "I went by your grandma's house today, and I saw her on the hallway. B*CK, NAK*D. Man, she is one fine-looking woman." The biker just stares at him without saying a word. His friends are confused because this biker has a reputation for fighting at a drop of a hat. The drunk leans on a table again and says again, "I got it on with your grandma. And let me tell you, she's the best I've ever had." The biker's buddies are now visibly angry, but the biker still remains silent. The drunk leans in one last time and says, "I'll tell you something else, boy. Your grandma, she liked it." At this point, the biker stands up, grabs the drunk by the shoulders, looks straight at the drunk's eyes, and says, "Grandpa, Go home. You're drunk. A married man was visiting his girlfriend when she requested he shave his beard off. "Oh, Patty," she said, "please shove it off. I want to see all of your lovely face." "I can't," said Patty. "My wife loves this beard. She'd kill me if I shaved it off. Please," she pleaded in a sexy, seductive voice. Patty gives in and shoves the beard off. Later that night, Patty crawls into the bed while his wife is sleeping. His wife wakes up and feels his face in the dark. She then says, "Oh, Michael, you shouldn't be here now. Patty will be back home shortly." It was 3:17 a.m. The kind of silence that makes every tiny sound feel louder, the hum of the fridge, a distant creak, the stillness of the whole neighborhood asleep. Lena woke up suddenly and reached across the bed. Cold sheets. Her husband, Daniel, was gone. She sat up listening. At first, nothing, then faintly from downstairs a sound. Soft, broken, someone crying. Her heart started pounding. She slipped out of bed, wrapped a robe around herself, and quietly made her way down. The living room is empty. Kitchen dark. The sound was coming from the basement. Step by step, she went down, gripping the railing. And there he was, curled up in the corner, between old boxes and a dusty heater. Daniel sat facing the wall, shoulders shaking. "Daniel," she whispered, rushing over. "What's wrong? Are you okay?" He slowly turned, eyes red, face streaked with tears. "Do you remember," he said, voice trembling, "when we were 16 and your dad caught us messing around?" She blinked. "Of course I remember." He was furious. Daniel nodded. "He gave me a choice. Marry you or spend 20 years in prison." She gave a small, confused smile. "Yes, and you chose me." Daniel looked up at her, then at the old calendar hanging nearby. A long pause. Then he whispered. It was 3:17 a.m. The kind of silence that makes every tiny sound feel louder, the hum of the fridge, a distant creak, the stillness of the whole neighborhood asleep. Little Jenny isn't a very good student. She gave an especially poor performance at religion classes. One day, the teacher asked little Jenny a question. "So, Jenny, could you tell me who created the world?" Little Jenny is thinking hard, but she doesn't really know the answer. Suddenly, little Johnny, who's sitting behind her, stabs her with a needle. "Dear God!" screams little Jenny. "Wonderful," says the teacher, obviously satisfied with the answer. A little while later, the teacher asks another question. "And so, Jenny, how do we call our Savior, the Son of God?" Little Johnny stabs little Jenny again with a needle. "Sweet Jesus," she cries out. "The answer is correct. And could you tell me what Eve said to Adam when their 23rd child was born?" Little Johnny stabs her a third time, and little Jenny shouts, "If you stab me with that another time, I'll rip off your balls."